On this auspicious occasion, we pay homage to a galaxy of sages and saints who left us this great knowledge, and knowledge which is essential for everyone to live by. It's a manual of life. They've given us the modus operandi, how to live life. And for these great men who left us, the galaxy of sages and saints, we humbly prostrate today. On this occasion, we have chosen the subject of social consciousness. Now the question is, what is social consciousness? We all heard of social work, but very few are acquainted with this concept of social consciousness. What is it? It is nothing but a genuine interest in others' needs, others' welfare. If there is social consciousness in any society, in any community, there's no need for social work. Social work has arisen because of the lack of social consciousness. The opposite of social consciousness is the feeling of the individuality, the ego, that I only exist. Maximum a person can think is my wife, my children. Beyond that, it doesn't go. You would take care of yourself, you would take care of your wife, your children. It ends there. Beyond that, it's blood. To have a genuine interest for the welfare of the community. This problem is all over the world. This problem of self-centeredness. I exist. I don't recognize others. You have an obligation to your friends, to your kith and kin, but there's no taboo to have your love, your interest for others. Why can't you love others' children as much as you love your children? But you have your obligation to your children, your kith and kin. Today, there's hardly any interest in others, and therefore sprung social work. I've written letters to Bill Gates, I've written letters to Warren Buffett, and they're doing good work. But it's all based on social work. And in this 1 hour, we'll know the limitations of social work. It's better than doing nothing. But once you gain this interest in others, a social consciousness, there's no need for these social work. Now you see the interest in others goes in circles. If you look at the board here, the first circle is only interest in oneself. Maximum you can think of family, that circle. It doesn't go beyond that. I'm not criticizing, I'm only stating what is the condition today in the world. And very few think in terms of the community. work for the community as much as you work for the family. Then comes the country, then comes humanity, then comes the entire living creatures. Billions and billions of creatures are slaughtered every day for the palate. Nobody talks about that. We are talking about the welfare of living creatures. Maximum you can go is human beings. What about the other creatures? They're dumb. They can't represent themselves. So, there's a total lack of social consciousness throughout the world. Therefore, we are where we are. What prevents you from thinking in the interest of others? When you're a little child, your interest was only playthings, your toys, your playthings. A child cannot think beyond its playthings. You can't educate a child and say, why are you just concentrating on your own dollies and pollies? Why can't you think in the interest of others? It cannot. And then you'll condone a child and say, it's after all a child. But next stage you go into a teenage. Teenagers are interested in their indulgences, their desires. They can't think beyond. They don't even care what the parents think, what others think. They are stuck in their own enclave. So you have children stuck with toys and games. Then you have teenagers stuck with their own interest. Then comes the adults. Adults, they are, when you're grown up, you're no longer interested in toys. You're no longer interested in the teenage hang-ups. Now you're settled with a wife, children, business, money, name, fame, power, position, status. These are the toys that make your joys. So maximum. So when you grow into adult, all that you're interested is your name, fame, power, position, status, money, family. Period. That's it. You can't go beyond that. So there's no point in telling a person who is involved in that to think of others. They cannot. So this social consciousness enables you to conceive the interest of others, the welfare of others. There's a boy in Bangalore. He wanted to join the academy that I'm running here. He said, Swami, I may have to spend a few years and then I'll come back. I was very curious. He's so interested in joining the academy. Why is he postponing it? He said, I'm learning to fly. I said, learning to fly? And I don't interrupt them. He wants to learn to fly, it's okay. He wants to become a pilot, to specialize on how to land where there is no regular runaway. He's specializing on that. Say, why do you want to do that? He says, several countries in Africa, there are people who are prepared to give the food and medicines and all the requirements, but it doesn't reach them. There's no way of reaching them. They were distant, far away from the cities. So he is learning how to take these goods there. Social consciousness. So what are we talking about? Other things. The guy thinks of people who are starving and need medicines in a far-off place, and he's learning, he's taking the risk of landing there, and he's achieved that. So I said, you don't need to join the academy, because if I produce one guy like that, I'll flatter myself. So we are learning to serve the community. Nothing else. But all that we are interested in our own welfare. You would not part with it. Whole lifetime you spend name, fame, power, position, status, money, family. That's it. These are the toys that make your joys. There is nothing wrong with it, but you've got to think beyond it. The lack of social consciousness has projected this social work. Social work has come in because people are not socially conscious. And people who have created these avenues of social work are not aware that is because of lack of social consciousness. It's just an interest in the welfare of everybody. Me, mine, it ends there. So therefore, what is this? CSR. You heard of CSR? There's so many other things have come, you might have forgotten. The corporate people don't forget because they're compulsory. Corporate social responsibility. They compulsorily have to give. They have. The government makes them give compulsorily for the welfare of others. What is the necessity for that? If everybody takes care of their own kith and their own folks. Several of you have come with cars and drivers. Have you ever thought in terms of what the driver is, how many children he has, whether they are educated, whether they have medical resources? Charity begins at home. In your home means here. The person goes, spends every night till 1, 2 o'clock in the parties, eating and feasting, everything. But he must think in terms of the driver who's waiting. Every minute he has to wait in attention, because any time the call may come. There's nothing wrong with it, but are you thinking of that person? That's the proper question. So the corporate social responsibility thrust on corporate people because of a lack of social consciousness. So what does this social work do? Social work provides material goods. There's a display of wealth and display of one's own image. Is more concentrated on one's image than actually welfare of the people whom you are thinking of helping. So there's a businessman in the Middle East. This happened, true story I'm giving you, about 25, 30 years back. So he knew that I had started the academy and all that. So his wife used to come to the lectures regularly. Not him, but he was a well-wisher. It was nice. The wife used to call me to their house, a very wealthy man. So his wife came running to me and said, Swamiji, I got some good news for you. I said, what happened? My husband has agreed to give you 25 lakhs to the trust. I said, good. I said, I hope you have not pressurized him. No, on his own way. I've been telling him, but on his own he's come with 25 lakhs. It's good, thank you. And I had dinner with them that night. And So he had the check ready. And he said, Swamiji, my only request is, please take it in the memory of my mother. Incidentally, I knew the mother. I've been in the house several times. I met the mother. Mother passed away. So I had a genuine feeling for the mother. So he said, in the memory of my mother, you must put that. I said, listen, I've started an ashram. I have not put my name there. My family name is not there. It's Vedanta Academy, Vedanta Cultural Foundation, Vedanta Trust, Life Institute. Everything is Vedanta, Vedanta, Vedanta. So, my name is not there, but doesn't matter. Even if my name is not there, I can put your name. But we don't put this. No, Swamiji, please, I insist that you should put my mother's name. Say, I adore your mother, I respect your mother, but I can't put it there. Why can't you put it there? What does it matter to you? I said, people come for solace. Every room has memory of my dead mother, memory of my dead father, everybody. It's not a burial ground. It's an ashram. So they come for solace. They'll be worried that the ghosts may come into the room, you know. I just can't do it. Swamiji, please, please. And he never gave that. This is a true story. Next year, he said, his wife innocently comes and says, this time he doubled it. I'll give you 50 lakhs. So, same thing. I said, but put my mother's name. Please, Swamiji, you love mother. I said, I told you I don't. And that time, we were more in need than perhaps now. Now, with God's grace, it's all right. But he said, put my name there. Again I said, no. He didn't give. Third year, true story, huh? True story. Sometimes I exaggerate. 75 lakhs. Again the same repeat. The fellow has got, he must understand the principle in which you are functioning. No, he didn't give. And the next time I was going, I told my boys, I said, listen, I'm going to accept it. This time, put a plaque, dig the foundation. In the foundation you put something. Whenever he comes, highlight it. Put a light. And when he goes, close it. So he didn't offer and I didn't do it. No, I was joking. I can't do it. It's the simplest thing to do. Just, they want name. What is that? And that also your name. People have done human service. See, my grandfather has given a substantial amount in Balaji temple and Sri Peramadur, 2 temples. True story. They gave, I don't know how many years back, maybe a century back, my grandfather. None of them are trustee. He was not a trustee. My father was not a trustee. I do not know. My father showed me when I was 19 years old, but I don't know. If you ask me to take me, I don't know where it is. It's going on. 1,000 people are fed during festivals, boarding and lodging. 1,000 people. Sri Peramadur and Balaji. No name. And that makes your children prosperous. Not the way that you hold and stick your name out. It's nothing but ego. So, social consciousness doesn't have that. You're just interested in the welfare of others. Therefore he gave. Very happy that he gave. And none of us are connected. None of us are trustees of that. I don't even know the name of the trust. So, but I know it has been done because my father took me when I was 19. So, service, there are different grades of service. One is material. Material service is when you what was that? You have 2 loaves of bread, you give 1 loaf of bread. That is service. It's material service. You have X amount of money, you give money to others, it's material service. Higher than that, superior to that, is physical service. Now, what is physical service, sir? A lady got a call from her husband that he's invited 3 guests for dinner. And these 3 guests are coming for dinner. A friend of hers were with her when this happened. So there are 2 ways of serving. The lady could say, look, don't worry about sweet dish. I will make the sweet dish and send it to you. She's a neighbor. The other thing, actually what the lady did is, look here, I am free the whole day. I can help you. So right from 9 o'clock till 7 o'clock, she was working with the neighbor. And she went away. She was not invited. She was not expected there. This is physical service. To give a sweet is service. To give anything from one dish to send from the neighbor is service. But far superior is physical service. She's with her working whole day. Physical service is superior to material service. Superior to even physical service is emotional service. I know 2 guys I thought I was in Bombay, in Mumbai. 2 boys. Their evening occupation is they visit hospitals. They find out who are in the general ward destitutes. No relatives, no friends, nobody, destitutes, To them, they take flowers, fruits, and 5 to 7 is visiting hours. They go and talk to them. They don't give their identity, so that they don't expect him to be grateful, to return the services. And never visit the same hospital. They go hospital to hospital. Service, emotional service, far superior than physical or material service. Still higher than emotional service is intellectual service. I know a few girls in Mumbai. They go to examination time. They go to students who are taking the exam and teach them voluntarily, not for anything. Just teach them the lessons. Intellectual service. So there's material service, easiest thing to do. Give a check and be done with it. Then physical service, superior to physical service is emotional service, superior to emotional service is intellectual service. Far higher than all that is spiritual service. Spiritual service is not what I'm doing now. Not teaching the Gita, Upanishads and all that. To be yourself physically evolved so that others can benefit. The moment you're spiritually evolved, any person who's spiritually evolved automatically serves others. You don't have to serve others overtly. They are like the lakes. Lakes merely collect water. There is no egoistic display of that. Just collect water. So, and no lake is neglected in the world. You drive pipes and draw the water. In fact, cities are built around lakes. But the lakes merely collect water. Similarly, your business is to collect spiritual knowledge. No advertisement, no going about talking. You may talk, you may write, that's incidental. But what exactly is required of a person who's spiritual is his spiritual edification, his spiritual growth. Once he is there, he becomes a beacon for others to follow. So that is the highest service you can think of. So there is material service, physical service, emotional service, intellectual service, spiritual service. Social work, at best, does some material service. Where is that? Where is that? And these Rotary clubs and all that, they do service, no doubt, physical service. Age-old time. How did these service clubs come about? JC Club and Lions Club and Tigers Club, all these clubs come, Rotary Club. How did they emerge? They all emerged in the United States. See, what they did is, what was happening there is, the extra food and extra, medicines and all that, instead of, they didn't know what to do with it, extra. But if they have extra, the prices will drop. So what they did is, they dumped it in the sea. Valuable food and medicines were dumped in the sea. So a group of people got together and they said, what are we doing? Why is this unnecessarily wasted? And they collected it and intelligently distributed to the needy. In this country, we don't have excess in anything. And we have started the clubs. It's a mockery. So therefore, social work has become just an egoistic display. I have done this, I have done this. You're more proud of doing something rather than actually performing. So therefore, friends, there are different kinds of service. And in the social work, there is no even material service. Material service comes from the heart. So we have to go back. We have never had this except in the good old days. Social service. Social consciousness must displace social work. Automatically it displaces, but there is no social consciousness. See, in the Shastras is mentioned, very interesting thing. The wife in the household will not serve food unless he brings 2 guests. This is the norm. So when the fellow is hungry, he is going home, he knows wife will not serve unless you bring 2 guests. Today, if we bring guests, they don't serve food at home. Why are you bringing all these jokers? So this fellow used to go to the marketplace and says, please, I'm hungry, I want to go and have some food at home. Can somebody come, somebody? And readily people who have eaten also join him to help that fellow because he won't get food. Don't do that today. You will be denied food if you take guests. So that is the atmosphere, Where is that and where are we? So because we lack that, we lack social consciousness, we have to adopt this terrible thing called social work. I wrote a long letter to that fellow, Bill Gates, and he is roped in so many others. He didn't understand. I got a reply which has nothing to do with it. They were saying that they are doing other services also. So you may do 10 services, you do not know we are doing 50 other services, all social work. So there's a was that a novel by Victor Hugo. It's called Les Miserables. In that novel, very, very interesting, a convict escaped from the prison and he's trying to find shelter for the night. No door was open except the priest. It was a priest's door. The convict entered that room. He heard the door open and he was about to have dinner. He told the maid, lay the dinner for 2 people. He saw the fellow coming. He was a convict. So he sat, both of them sat at the table. Not a word was spoken. Both of them ate the meal. And after the meal, the priest said, I don't know what your plan is, but if you need a place to sleep, I have a guest room. You can rest for the night. That's exactly what he wanted, food and shelter. So he had food, and then he didn't say anything. The priest went away to sleep. He went and slept there. And the maid cleaned the plates and brought in the cupboard, which was in the guest room. So she kept it there. And this fellow was awake. He saw the plates being kept in the cupboard in his room. And in the middle of the night, he took the silver plates. The custom there was, whenever a guest came, the maid is to serve in silver plates. He saw it, silver plates. So he took them and ran away. The maid came in the morning and said, Father, the silver plates have gone. She was so frustrated. Anybody in the streets he invites, So, silver plates have gone. He said, replace them with copper. He was still studying. He didn't look back also. Replace them. So, 10 minutes later, the police brought the fellow and put him on the floor and said, Father, we caught that fellow last night. We didn't want to disturb you. He ran away with your plates. We caught them. The good man turned and said, what have you done? Last night I presented him the plates. Oh my God. Oh my God, why didn't you tell us? So they bent and asked the convict, why didn't you tell us? He didn't tell because it was stolen. So anyway, the fellow apologized profusely to the convict, apologized to the priest and said, Father, please forgive us. We insulted your guest. Went away. On his table, writing table, there were 2 candlestick stands made of solid silver. He took them by the hand and reached the convict and said, Son, remember, life is to give, not to take. Remember, life is to give, not to take. The convict took the silver candlestick stands also and went away. The rest of the story is very fascinating. He became one of the greatest saints. Became saints. What will happen? Because your fear is, what will happen if you give? What will happen if you give? Maximum people who give want to buy for their name. For their name they give. I'm not against it, but that's not giving. Giving is your left hand should not know what your right hand is giving. Khalil Gibran says, there's only giving is yonder hill, the myrtle plants, they give a fragrance, a beautiful fragrance. You can think of rose plants or whatever. Yonder hill, where nobody is there, just a hill. The myrtle gives the fragrance for whom? Who enjoys the fragrance? It just gives. It just gives. Now you want some substantial. Put my name, I'll give you. Put the conditions. If I had only received all the thing by all the people who offered me with conditions, if I had received that, I would have been ruined by now. Because I would have been too wealthy. If you're too wealthy, you're finished. So therefore, where social consciousness spreads, when everybody is socially conscious. See, I can't say. I'm running a Vedanta institute for students from all over. They come and learn. That is my duty. And therefore, I have nothing to do with the servants. I have about 25 servants. I mean, gardeners, cooks, and all these servants, security, all that. I have nothing to do. I'm only a teacher. I'm only a philosopher. Now, they are serving the incense, they are cooking, they are doing everything. I must look into their interest. Otherwise, this philosophy is useless. So therefore, this social consciousness caters to all levels of service. Whether it's material service or physical, emotional, intellectual service, at all levels. The idea is to give. Never interested in getting anything out of it. If you are interested in getting anything out of your giving, it is business. It is not charity. You're buying it. And if at all there's any charity, it's business that they're doing. And all this social, corporate social services, it's a question of transferring from here to there. I'm only trying to define what is social service. I'm happy people are helping themselves. Let them help themselves. A fellow steals my purse, Shakespeare said. Who steals my purse steals trash. Let him steal. It's trash. So, social work comes from the mind. Social consciousness emanates from the intellect. So you feel a sense of obligation. They're all your brothers and sisters. So when I have 3 meals a day, why can't I think of others? See, in the society that I'm living in Bombay, I have an apartment in Bombay. I'm living in an apartment which has air-conditioned rooms. Air-conditioned rooms. The Jamedars, 6 fellows are packed in one small, it's not a room. It's just a small passage. 6 fellows are there. How can you sleep when you don't provide a minimum to those fellows? So, once you start doing that, I'm questioned. Why are you doing that? It went up to the board. I said, at least one man is doing, let him do. One fellow said, you are not able to do, I am not able to do, let that fellow do it. So I said, don't worry. If they don't allow it, I'll park the car outside and give you all the fellows. You come outside. They can't object to it. How can you not think of others? It's a question of feeling. If you hit a dog in the road, There's two ways of thinking. There's two ways of thinking when you hit a dog. These wretched dogs come in the street. Or you can go all out to see if it's this poor thing is rushed somewhere, and if you can help take it to a vet or whatever. It's a question of how you feel. It's a feeling. It's feeling for others. In London, a family came to me. The father, mother, and two children. Father, mother, and two daughters. The father is a doctor, and the four of them had a bunny, a rabbit, as a pet. And they were enjoying the bunny used to sleep in the bed, and they all four enjoyed the pet. They liked the pet so much and fondled it. A rabbit is a rabbit, it's so endearing. And then it suddenly died. They rushed the bunny to the vet, and the vet said, "Look, I'm sorry, I don't think it'll last more than 5-6 days. But I know it's suffering. If you want to put an end, you can put an end to it. But there's no point in it. But anyway, it'll definitely die, even if you want to keep it." So they said they'll put an end to this bird. Again, hello. Can you check the people are shouting? This hall obviously is not used to silent, quiet lectures. There must be dancing and music. So they said it's going. And the father, the doctor said, "We'll put an end. And if you people want to participate, it's all right. I'm very fond of rabbit meat." He wanted to eat that. So, otherwise there was a harmonious family. The wife screamed, the children started crying, and how can you say that? How can you say that? And they know me for a long time, so they said, "We'll go to Swamiji, we're going to complain." And the mother and two daughters came and cried. "We never knew he's such a person, and he wants to eat that pet," and all. I said, okay, I'll handle this. You go and send him, I said. He came in. I know the fellow, he's a very nice fellow. I said, "Listen, I want to ask you only one question. When you want to eat that pet, the rabbit, do you feel anything? That it was a pet you're fondling? Do you feel?" "Swamiji, if I feel, will I eat it?" "No, it's dead, no." He's asking me to join him. This is dead, it's gone. So what is that to feel? And I said, "That's all I asked him. Thank you very much, go." And then I called the two girls and the mother, "Come here." I said, "Look, I asked him this question. He doesn't feel anything wrong with it. So he's eating. How can he not feel?" I said, "Hang on. He doesn't feel and he thinks it's all right. How can you support that? How can you?" "No," I said, "Do you eat chicken?" I asked them. "Every Sunday we have chicken. Do you feel? Do you feel that you've eaten a chicken?" "No." "You're eating. He doesn't feel and he's eating. What's wrong?" the whole complexion changed. Believe me, they went back fairly consoled, But I told that idiot, I said, buy a rabbit outside and eat, man. Don't eat that rabbit. It's a pet. They have got a sentimental value. Avoid it. This I'll do. But anyway, I thought it's going waste. Why not eat? So that feeling cannot be communicated. If you feel, you don't feel. A person who slaughters other creatures and eats, he doesn't feel. He's not doing anything wrong. You can't blame anybody who's eating these animals. You're doing the same thing. You're not feeling for others discomfort. They're suffering. You don't feel. They don't feel. Perfect love. Say, would you ever, you go to the zoo, you you look at a deer and pat it and fondle it. You look at a tiger and a lion, you appreciate that also. But it's constantly killing. You understand? So, they don't have the feeling that a human being can have. No tiger and tigress sits in the cave in their den and say, why are we living like that? Innocent animals we are killing. No tiger and tigress says that. So they are not doing anything wrong. Similarly, among men, if you don't feel, this is called sin. Sin is not in the action, it's in the reaction. If you feel it and do it, then you're committing sin. If you don't feel it, as far as you're concerned, free pass to heaven. You don't go to... No, therefore, I'm saying it's extremely difficult, if not impossible, to change one person to have that social consciousness. It's all social work. No awareness, no effort to improve social consciousness. Nobody understands this. So therefore, by merely introducing social work, it only breeds selfishness, egoistic feeling. I have done this, I have done this. What have you done? Their names. In all big religious institutions, so many ashrams have been, names. Memory of. So, social consciousness starts with unselfishness and ends with unselfishness. You've got to be unselfish. Then you have an understanding, a feeling of caring, sharing. This cannot be educated. You can't tell an angry man not to get angry. You can't tell an uncharitable man to become charitable. You cannot do that. So it's a slow process of education. But what social work does is, try to understand this. It caters to a class. Okay, you send money, you send food, etc. to a unit in Africa or India for that matter. That particular society is benefited. What about the rest? You don't care. It's just an emotional hang-up. I want to give something. So how do you... But social consciousness spreads once it's introduced. Sir, it is like, try to understand this, if there's no literacy at all in a country, nobody can read and write, and we have 25 teachers. We have 25 teachers. What would anybody do? What would you do? Straight away you ask them, go and teach. In a country over 1 billion people, 25 people, how many people can they teach? So they can go and teach. They'll make them literates, but small pockets here and there. But if the other way of doing it is, these 25 teachers can create further teachers. So one fellow can create 100 teachers, 200 teachers, 300 teachers, and they in turn go on further teachers. And it spreads and spreads and spreads. The whole country will be benefited. So are you recommending teachers or teachers to teach or to create teachers? That's the interesting part of it. Similarly, social work will cater to pockets, but social consciousness will spread. I've told people, look here, you do your social work. 100 units of social work you're doing, keep aside 5 for developing social consciousness. They won't do it. They don't understand its value, it's waste of time. See it on the board here. So here, the effect of social work. Okay, there are pockets here, pocket here, pocket here, benefited. But if it's like teachers teaching, so that small pocket will be benefited. But if you develop social consciousness, it will spread. More and more teachers. I met a guy, or he met me in London. The day I met him, a chap called Horn, he had donated 500 million pounds charity. 500 million. I met him that day. The fellow has an ordinary watch, open shirt. He goes by underground. He doesn't have a car. Underground in London. Met him. Prime Minister of England meet him. He gives maximum 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. So the fellow who took me, he said, it must be very insulting, you people talk to you for hours, but this man will not talk more than 5 minutes. Listen, it's not that I want, you wanted to meet him. You wanted me to meet his right-hand man. I'm prepared for even 2 minutes, it's okay. Since you are asking me to meet him, I'm happy to meet him. So don't worry. But he cautioned me, he doesn't meet more than 5, 10 minutes maximum. Prime ministers, ruling prime ministers come to he asked me, what do you do? I started telling him. 45 minutes he was listening to me. 4 o'clock to 4:45. Then I said, Chris, you have an appointment at 5. Because that fellow told me he's got an appointment at 5. He said, yeah, thank you very much, thank you very much. And he got up and went. 500 million pounds. And knows some of the parties to which it's going. He thinks it's going for a cause. It is going for a cause, but it's diluted completely. The whole 500 million disappears. India, I know the persons who has got it. Persons means the community has got it. So, social work can cater to only small pockets. But when you develop so everybody is socially conscious, there's no necessity. If you take care of your servants, if I take care of my servants, if I take care of my neighbors, a little bit, whatever you can do. See, in Mumbai, even here, we have apartments, big apartments. See, Mumbai, where I live, with 30 apartments. The security is there, the other fellows are there. There is no feeling for them, how they live, how are their children. If few help, it's enough. If the entire lot feel for them, they'll become richer than us. So that social consciousness is not there. The feeling is not there. Just as that fellow says, I can eat that. I have no feeling. Now how can you put feeling into him? So, social work, whatever has been done, has not succeeded. Definitely wipe out poverty. At least that you must understand. A few of you can understand. A few of you can understand. I don't expect anybody to understand what I'm saying. Anyway, I'm used to it. When I talk, they listen. And the irritating part is very good lectures, Swamiji. I know if nobody has understood what I'm saying. Then you may ask me, why are you talking? Because I don't know what else to do. I just talk. So nobody is listening to me even now. Social work has not succeeded. This Bill Gates and the world are doing in a big, big way. Nothing has succeeded. There's still utter poverty, suffering. Therefore, you got to now try to understand. Today's talk is only to understand this word social consciousness. What is it? What is the Swami saying? You got to investigate, for which you need Vedantic knowledge. You need this knowledge, which is nothing but developing your intellect, buddhi. You have a mind. There is no program to develop the intellect anywhere in the world. Schools and universities only give you knowledge. They don't provide you material to develop your intellect. So unless you develop your intellect, you will not understand the seriousness of the situation. So therefore, it is again that Vedantic knowledge. Now fortunately for you all, I'm talking about at least in this congregation, 2-3 people react, it will be enough. 2-3 people. We have a 3-year residential course there in Malavli, and that takes 3 years to communicate this knowledge. I'm sure most of you are not qualified in the sense you have your family, you have a business, you have your other commitments, you can't leave everything and come there. For those people, we have developed what is known as e-learning. So now the whole thing is video taped, whole thing is available, and you can plug it in and listen to it, exactly live lectures. So unless you do that, you cannot develop the intellect. And unless you have a sharp intellect, you will not understand what social consciousness is. Just mechanically follow social work. It has not led us anywhere. It will not lead you anywhere. Thank you very much.